Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into something truly remarkable in cricket.
Yeah, we're talking about Bangladesh's historic T20 sweep against the West Indies. A 3-0 victory. Can you believe it?
I know, right? Especially coming in after losing the ODI series 3-0. Talk about a turnaround. We've got a bunch of articles from ESPN Cricinfo, the Bangladesh Cricket Board's website, and some post-match analyses, and everyone's saying this could be a game changer.
Totally. The way they dominated each match wasn't just about winning, it was a complete performance.
So let's break it down, starting with that incredible final T20. Bangladesh puts up a massive 189 runs, their highest ever T20 score in the West Indies.
Yeah, and Jake or Ollie, what can you say? 72 not out.
Unbelievable innings, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after that near run out early on. Talk about resilience. He comes back and smashes sixes. I mean, wow.
That near run out had me on the edge of my seat. Then he just explodes. The West Indies never recovered. They just crumbled under the pressure. All out for 109, their lowest ever T20 total against Bangladesh. Ouch.
Yeah, Bangladesh's bowling attack was relentless. The West Indies have a strong batting lineup, but they just couldn't find their rhythm. They were completely outplayed.
Rashad Hussain was on fire in that third T20. 3 crucial wickets and a run out. He was everywhere.
I know, right? He single-handedly dismantled the West Indies chase. Just incredible.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit. The second T20I, Bangladesh defends a target of 130.
Yeah, and the West Indies could only manage 102. Taskin Ahmed was phenomenal in that match, taking 3 for 16.
Some serious economical bowling there. Okay, so we've talked about the standout performances, but there were also some quieter contributions.
Right, and I think that's one of the key takeaways here. This was a complete team effort. Everyone stepped up and played their part.
Okay, let's give some more props to Jake Ali. I mean, come on, the guy was the MVP of the tour.
He really was. That final innings, 72 not out, almost getting run out, and then just going off. Legendary.
It's like that near run out flipped a switch. He was unstoppable after that.
And it wasn't just about hitting big shots. He showed incredible game awareness, rotating the strike, picking his moments. It was a really mature innings.
Now, we can't forget about the bowling heroes. Rashad Hussain was just clinical in that third T20. Those 3 wickets and the run out. What did you make of his performance?
Phenomenal. He bowled with precision and executed his game plan to perfection. That run out was the cherry on top.
And Taskin Ahmed in that second T20I, 3 for 16. What accuracy.
Unbelievable economy rate. He kept the pressure on the West Indies batters throughout his spell. They never really had a chance to breathe.
It seemed like Bangladesh had an answer for everything. So yeah, incredible individual performances. But I think what struck me most was their teamwork.
Oh, absolutely. You could see their unity and purpose. They were all on the same page, fighting for each other.
It was like they had this unshakable belief that they could win, even though they were considered the underdogs. All right, before we get into the bigger picture, what does this sweep really mean for Bangladesh going forward? Is this a blip, or have we just witnessed something significant?
Well, you never want to read too much into one series, but this was definitely a statement.
So you're saying it could be more than just a flash in the pan?
Absolutely. It could be a sign of Bangladesh's emergence as a real force in international cricket. This win, it could be bigger than just Bangladesh and the West Indies, you know?
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, it really challenges the established order in cricket.
What do you mean by established order?
You know, you've got your traditional powerhouses, the teams that are always expected to dominate. Bangladesh, historically, they haven't been in that group.
So you're saying this could be a sign of, like, a changing of the guard, like a real shift in the power dynamics of cricket.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of throws a wrench into things, makes everyone reevaluate their perceptions.
That's a pretty bold statement. Are we really talking about a power shift based on one series?
It's early days, of course, but it definitely shows that the landscape of international cricket is evolving.
I see what you mean. It's like Bangladesh has finally arrived on the world stage, and now everyone's paying attention.
Exactly. And that's exciting for the sport, you know? Adds a bit of unpredictability, keeps things interesting for the fans.
I get that. But, I mean, was this really a seismic shift? Or was it just a case of Bangladesh playing really well against a team that was having a bit of an off series?
That's the million-dollar question in sports analysis, isn't it? Separating the fluke from the trend. But I think you have to look at how Bangladesh won.
You're saying it wasn't just luck, it was skill and strategy.
Exactly. They came in with a plan and executed it flawlessly. They were better in every department. Batting, bowling, fielding.
So what does this tell us about Bangladesh as a team? Are they ready to compete at this level consistently?
Well, that's still to be determined, but this series definitely showed they have the potential. They've got a great mix of experienced guys and young talent, and they're playing with so much confidence now.
I wonder, what do you think this win will do for the morale of the players, the fans back home?
Oh, it's going to be massive. Cricket is already huge in Bangladesh, but this is next level. I bet the celebrations in Dhaka are unbelievable.
Can you imagine? Must be electric.
Absolutely. And I think it will inspire a whole new generation of kids to pick up a bat and ball. You know, they see these guys as heroes. They'll want to be just like them.
It's like a ripple effect, isn't it? Spreading outward from this one incredible series win.
Exactly. It's not just the players. It's everyone involved in Bangladesh cricket. The coaches, the fans, even the administrators. Everyone will be feeling this.
A potential power shift internationally and a surge in popularity back home. That's quite a legacy from just one series.
It really is. Now the question is, how will Bangladesh build on this success? Can they keep this momentum going and become a real force in international cricket?
That's what everyone's wondering.
And that's what makes sports so exciting, the uncertainty. You just never know what's going to happen next.
Okay, before we get too carried away with Bangladesh, we should probably talk about the West Indies. This was a tough series for them. What are the big takeaways for them, do you think?
The big thing for them is consistency, or the lack of it. They've got the talent, but they haven't been able to string together consistent performances lately.
It's like they're trying to figure out who they are as a team, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Some world-class players, but they're not clicking as a unit yet.
So what do they need to change to get back on track?
That's the tough question. There's no easy answer. Honestly, I think they need to take a hard look at themselves, figure out what they're good at, what needs work, and come up with a clear game plan.
And they need to find a way to, actually execute that game plan under pressure.
Absolutely. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but they need that to be the norm, not the exception, if they want to be up there with the best.
I think this series really exposed their weaknesses, right? They didn't seem to adapt well to the conditions or Bangladesh's style of play.
You're right, and that's something they have to address moving forward. They can't be a one-trick pony. They need to be adaptable, able to adjust their game depending on who they're playing and what the conditions are.
Sounds like a lot of soul-searching for the West Indies. But maybe there's a silver lining here. Any positives they can take from this series?
Well, as tough as this loss is, it could be a wake-up call. You know, sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to rebuild. This might be the push they needed to make some changes.
So a turning point, but in a different way than it was for Bangladesh. Like a chance to reassess and come back stronger.
Exactly. It all depends on how they react to this, right? Do they let this define them, or do they use it as motivation to come back even better?
It'll be interesting to see how they move forward from this.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the teams, but what about you? What's your biggest takeaway from Bangladesh's sweep?
You know, for me, it's just a reminder that sports are unpredictable. It's why we love it, right? You never know what's going to happen.
That's so true. And it's a reminder that we should never underestimate the underdog.
Absolutely. And it shows the power of belief. Bangladesh came in as underdogs, but they believed in themselves, played with passion and determination, and look what they achieved.
Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay, I'm listening.
We've talked about the immediate impact, but what about the long-term implications? Specifically, how will this victory shape Bangladesh's identity as a cricketing nation?
That's a great question. This could be a defining moment for them, you know?
Think about the impact on grassroots cricket. Kids growing up idolizing these players, wanting to be just like them. It could change the whole sporting landscape in Bangladesh.
Absolutely. It could have a huge impact on their future.
So a change in how they're perceived, both at home and on the world stage, that's quite a legacy.
It is. And it'll be interesting to see how Bangladesh handles all the attention and expectation now. Can they live up to it, or will the pressure get to them?
Only time will tell. But they've given us a glimpse of their potential, and that's exciting.
That's the beauty of sport. The story's never over, always a new chapter being written.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How one series can have such a lasting impact. And, that kind of brings us to you, our listeners.
Yeah, let's hear what you guys think.
We've looked at this from every angle. The upset, the key players, what it means for both teams, even the possibility of a power shift in cricket. But now we want to hear your take.
What was your first thought when you heard about Bangladesh's win? What stood out to you?
Did anything surprise you? Did it change how you see Bangladesh as a cricketing nation?
And, the big question, what do you think this means for the future of cricket?
We really want you to think about these questions. It's not just about us giving you info. It's about getting you to really engage with this. You know,
We've laid out the facts, the different perspectives. Now it's your turn to think it through and come to your own conclusions.
so keep this series in mind as you follow cricket. See it as a lens to view how the sport is changing.
Pay attention to how Bangladesh builds on this and how the West Indies bounce back.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to challenge your own assumptions. Embrace the unexpected, because in cricket, as we've seen, anything is possible.
And that's the beauty of it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been fantastic diving deep into this with you, and we hope you enjoyed it too. Until next time, this has been The Deep Dive.